Hey everybody, this is going to be a quick guide on how to beat the Marines Pass. The Marines Pass is one of the harder passes out of all the characters, so if you're struggling, hopefully this guide helps you out. I'm going to be covering how to dodge most of the attacks, as well as where to generally position yourself. So let's begin. So the positioning for this fight is actually pretty simple. The only rule you really have to follow is stay away from him, so don't stay near the center, because he likes to teleport there a lot. That's going to be where he mostly is. And then when he goes to the left or the right with his teleport, just move to the side of the arena opposite of where he's going. In terms of where you want to stand, obviously you want to stand away from him, so one of the sides of the arenas is good. Personally, I just think the bottom was great because you have the most space to maneuver in, so I would just, honestly, you can stay down there for pretty much the entire fight, and then move to the left or right based on where he teleports to. The poison pools that he summons, which are these orange ones, they're in the same spot every time. So the poison pools are always going to be here, if you just remember these. And the only really dangerous one is this bottom left one. If you stay in the bottom of the screen, this is like the only really dangerous one, I guess. But generally, like, if you just keep in mind not to go over there, you should be okay because you have a lot of space to maneuver in, so you shouldn't really have to go over there. I guess you can go over here sometimes if you want, just to get that extra distance if he's like all the way over here. But you shouldn't have to. This bottom part of the arena should be good for most of it. And then this poison pool is not really that dangerous either because well, you don't really want to go up here anyways because it's going to be a little close to him. These top two, I guess, if you don't like playing in this bottom part of the arena, that's fine. You can like go to the left or the right. I just personally don't think the right is great because this one is kind of like in the middle of everywhere that you want to go, and then there's not much space here. So yeah, I would just stay away from that. But yeah, generally the poison pools aren't that big of a threat. All you really have to do is stay just as far away from him as possible. That's the only real rule you have to follow, and you should be okay. So yeah. This boss only really has 2 attacks, and the first attack is actually pretty easy to dodge. So he's going to shoot these waves of bullets at you. All you need to do is weave in between them and then dodge roll through the last wave. This is pretty easy to avoid. Just make sure that when you dodge roll through the last wave that you look before you leap, because you can accidentally dodge onto another bullet. As long as you do that, you should be okay. So his second attack is a squiggle attack. This is probably the hardest attack that he has just because it's a little unpredictable and the squiggles can trace you. So personally, the best way I found to deal with this attack is when you see him use it, just move to the left or the right without dodge rolling, and then if you have to dodge roll, you can. The reason why you shouldn't dodge roll at the beginning of this attack is because the squiggles can trace you in the middle of your dodge roll, and when you land, you might have some time where you're unable to move and you'll get hit. So I would just say move to the left or right without rolling, and then roll if you absolutely have to. Sometimes you might get hit anyways, but for the most part, this should dodge pretty much the majority of the times when he uses this move. So sometimes you can summon these acid pools. If you stick to the positioning strategy and stay to the bottom of the arena, you shouldn't really have to deal with the acid that much. If you do have to move onto the acid and you're afraid that you have to dodge an attack because of it, I would just use a blink and then get off the acid as soon as possible to get into a better position. But other than that, if you stick to the bottom of the arena, you really shouldn't have to worry about it at all. One thing that I discovered on my own that you should still be careful about is that even when the acid fades away, it's still actually active for a few seconds. So keep a mental note of where the acid pools are after they fade away for around like 5 seconds, because the acid will still actually hurt you if you stand on it. I've lost some HP to this, and you can easily lose HP if you don't know this. So this is something to watch out for. After he reaches 2/3 HP and 1/3 HP, he'll summon these little demon teddy bears to fight for him. This attack is pretty easy to avoid. Just stay far away from them and shoot them all down as fast as possible. He will come back to the arena after a short amount of time, so it's pretty important that you kill all the bears as fast as possible, just because you don't want to have to deal with dodging his attacks and their attacks at the same time. You should have plenty of time to kill them all, and then by the time you kill the last one, if you've been focusing them, he'll probably reappear. So just make sure you kill them as fast as possible. Alright, so this is going to be a full battle of the Marines Past to serve as my example. So here he comes. Interdimensional horror. So this should be fine. So we just start doing damage right away. Remember to stay at the bottom of the arena, and you should be okay for the most part. He's doing acid, he's doing waves, so we just go to the left here. Easy. That one's pretty easy to dodge. So we just weave in between these bullets here, and then roll through the last one. Do Left again. And you pretty much stay from the asset as long as you stay in the bottom part of the arena. He's doing waves again. Just get out of the way. So he's on the left side. That's still fine. He's like pretty far away from us, so we should be good. And just do this wave track. Roll through. Alright, so he's summoning his bears. We can freely move around the arena at this part. Just yeah, just stay far away from these bears. You should have plenty of time to react to all of these. Some of them shoot tracking shots, like I said before, but it's pretty easy to just get out of the way. Yeah, and your marines help you out a little bit as well. Yeah, make sure to kill all the bears before he respawns, because yeah, that can happen. I didn't realize there were 2 more up here. But yeah, took a damage there. That's fine though. Like, we still have plenty of HP. So he's doing this attack again. We roll through. Doing this attack, we just get out of the way. Try not to roll too much unless you absolutely have to for that. You generally don't have to. He's doing this again. Oh, we got hit there. It's kind of hard to predict that attack. So there, he does that attack. And just roll through this wave. Pretty easy. That attack's very easy to avoid. Alright, he's summoning bears the second time. Let's try to kill as many as possible. So you just go up here, you shoot all these bears. There's a lot of them. Yeah, they're pretty tanky. Mostly because your gun doesn't do much damage, but you should be able to kill them all in a relatively timely manner. So that's all of them actually, we got all of them there. Move out of the way. Let's move back down to the bottom of the arena, because that's a little safer. Alright, so he's probably summoning acid again. We just move to the bottom, roll out of the way of these bullets, and just keep shooting at him. Eventually, he's getting really low here, you can see. He should be dead pretty soon. Yeah, there we go. So just like that, you know, that's the full fight. It shouldn't be too bad. Make sure to stay to the bottom, kill the bears as fast as possible, and try not to roll too much unless you have to, and you should be good to go. So, hope this helped. Thanks.